All right, so what does the ascension of JSN, the rookie wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, have to do with the prospective values of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett for 2023 fantasy football? This is the Fantasy Sports Plus. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe, hit that notification button if you haven't done so already. So Dan Graziano of ESPN spoke today about Jaxon Smith Njigba, the rookie wideout from Ohio State, the number 1 receiver drafted in this past April's NFL draft. And he's basically saying that he's absolutely lighting it up. He's been the star of camp. He's, going to do major things this year as a rookie. And he's going to be right there as an Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. And really, this kind of jives with everything we've heard about him since he was drafted. And again, the one thing that should always be noted here is that Jaxon Smith absolutely balled out and was the best wide receiver by a significant margin for Ohio State 2 years ago, when both Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, who are both expected to have a huge sophomore season, ascending to wide receiver 1 status for the Saints and Jets. All three of these guys in the same offense, on the same field, that JSN was the best receiver, catching over 90 passes for Ohio State, while Olave and Garrett Wilson were part of the offense. So, this has me now in a little bit of a conundrum, because I'm a big Tyler Lockett guy, and I'm also was pretty good on DK Metcalf as well as a 3rd-round pick. But if JSN is going to have this big rookie campaign, like it's all the signs are looking like, and what is that going to do now to Lockett and DK Metcalf? And here's the thing too, guys. Geno Smith was one of the more pronounced short to intermediate throwers in the entire NFL last year. He did not throw deep. And that's why DK Metcalf, even though he caught a lot of passes, his touchdown numbers were down. All right, so those deep balls that Russell Wilson was throwing to Metcalf right out of the gate, and Metcalf's career began with Seattle, that has dried up with Geno Smith. Geno Smith really protected the football, perhaps knowing his own reputation of turnovers when he was with the Jets, made a clear attempt to avoid those turnovers that have marred the earlier portion of his career. And that greatly benefited Tyler Lockett, who is the only receiver in football, guys, who has caught 8 or more touchdowns each of the last 4 years. How about that stat? But if JSN, who's now going to be in the slot, Lockett's going to be outside with Metcalf, I'm a little bit nervous now about, in particular, Lockett, who's the guy I've really been targeting. He's wide receiver 29 right now, which I think is still a really good price. But he's not a 100-catch guy, Tyler Lockett. He's in that 80-catch range, 8 to 10 touchdowns, which is great, and he's over 1,100 yards, which we love, all for an annually affordable price. But if JSN is going to put up these massive rookie numbers that everybody's talking about, and the talent is there, first receiver drafted, outproduced Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, we really can't doubt that with a quarterback who he's perfectly matched up with. We're going to have to dial things back a little bit on Metcalf and Lockett, I think. And really, this is a bigger deal for Metcalf, who's going in the 3rd round. I have to say, I'm coming off DK Metcalf as a 3rd-round pick now. Now, I would clearly take Chris Olave over him. Would you take Calvin Ridley over him? I might right now. Tyler Lockett, if I can get him as a wide receiver 3, I'm still good with that. Just because he has a nose for the end zone no matter what. Even if JSN catches, 80 balls this year, I'm still good with Tyler Lockett at that price. But then what do we do with JSN? Do we really be aggressive on him now? It's probably he's going to move into the 7th round territory before all is said and done. Especially if he puts up a big preseason, which I think he's fully capable of doing. So again, this is just something we need to monitor. 3 receivers in Seattle. It's still going to be run-centric offense. That's what Pete Carroll does with Kenneth Walker, and hopefully the kid from UCLA is all right. But we're going to have to tailor the prices now, fix the prices a little bit on all these receivers. And it's going to hurt Metcalf the most, I believe. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. More videos on the way.